What's up YouTube, Cap over here, and welcome to week 2 of the RBL as we're taking on Joey, coach of the Minnesota Eon Twins, who so happen to be the champions of Season 2. And this is going to be a big match between us just because he won his first battle, I lost my first battle, and we definitely want to get back on the right track to success. So we're just going to jump right into this. I'm going to lead off with my Arcanine, predicting his Darmanitan, and that would be the best matchup for me just because A, I can go for extreme speed, or B, I can predict him and go into something that's physical and go for the Willow. Either way, I felt like I was in a fairly good position. He can go for U-turn, it would do absolutely nothing, but I ended up going for extreme speed just because I want to make sure that this thing was at range where Mega Altaria with an agility boost will KO this thing with an Earthquake, a guaranteed KO. So that was my main concern with that. Yeah, so I just wanted to get that off. It was guaranteed KO. He puts in Wheezing, and I figured, hey, this is going to be Toxic Spikes. It might be Will-O-Wisp, it might be Sludge Bomb, it might be Pain Splits, but it's going to be just pretty basic over here. I'm just going to go into my Duck Dodgers just because if he does set up Toxic Spikes, I have my wall that's going to be not poison, and I do get the special attack boost. So that's going to be huge just because later on in the future, I could do some damage with it. And thankfully for Doc Dodgers gets in for free, substitute for free as he goes for double Toxic Spikes. And I can just fire off a safe Psychic over here because Psychic is going to do a lot, and the Conch Elder is going to take this Psychic right to the face, which does so much damage. This is a big hit just because the Conch Elder is the only thing that can really handle the Porygon 2. And since I'm behind a sub, it's not going to take me down, not at all, and it's not going to recover enough HP with the sub up. So big play on Porygon 2's part just because Porygon 2 is going to take out the Conch Elder at this moment, and that's a huge play just because, like I said before, Conch Elder is the only thing that can tame Porygon 2. So he's going to send out the Latias over here, and with the Psyshock, it's going to do absolutely no damage. Like, I can just stay in and recover, try attack, recover, try attack, and I get a crit over here, but at this moment, it's just going to be a sequence of him going for Psyshock and recover, and myself going for try attack and recover. And the reason was because I was just happy with what was happening at this moment. Psyshock has no secondary effects. If he does crit me, I can just click recover. And if he wants to stay and play this game, Try Attack has a 10% chance of either burning, paralyzing, or freezing. And I was perfectly fine with that just because it could happen, it could not. He has more to lose than I do just staying at this standstill. So either way, there was no point of making any predictions or whatnot. This was the safest play to do of all. Plus he has the Toxic Spikes up, so I want to avoid switching out as much as I can. And just doing this, it puts the pressure on him just because I'm getting so many crits. He hasn't gotten one crit. But yeah, so I figured I'm just gonna stay in here. I'm just gonna stay here and recover and try attack. He's gonna stay in and do the same. At some point we figured, hey, it's gonna go nowhere, and he would probably have to end up switching out because he'd run out of recoveries or something. I have the Psychic, so we're good. We're all good in the hood. Try attack still has a lot of PP, so I'm happy with this. No point in putting any other mons in an awkward position, so it's just gonna be an odd sequence of this. Eventually it does wear down, but Doc Dodgers is doing his job. Exactly what I wanted to do. This spread allows me to take Psyshocks and many other hits. So I'm really curious on what this Latios was. It must have had Defog or something, Roost, Heal Bell, Healing Wish. I'm not sure. So he ends up going for one more Psyshock, as I get a decent amount of damage over here. And Joey soon learns that I'm not gonna switch out. I'm just gonna go for recover here because I've been going for recover so many times at this range just because I want to make sure I'm at range where I can live a hit from the Darmanitan or the Gyarados or anything else that could possibly creep up on me. So Thankfully, he switches into Darmanitan, and I make the ultimate decision on deciding, hey, this Darmanitan is a threat. I'm going for Tri-Attack. This thing is going to go down right now. And I actually eat the hit decently well. I'm surprised of how well this Porygon 2 is eating up everything. And Porygon 2 will actually KO the Darmanitan. That's 2 KOs for Porygon 2. He's putting in his vouch for MVP of this battle. And this thing is gonna come in and I'm like, oh snap. Mega Gyarados, don't have Dragon Dance. Please don't have Dragon Dance. That's the worst case scenario just because Dragon Dance Gyarados is really, really scary. And yeah, so he has been going for Dragon Dance and I'm like, oh snap, this is bad. This is really, really bad. It has gone horribly bad right now. So I'm gonna go for a Tri-Attack, hoping that I get something lucky, but at this moment I know I can't take a Crunch Waterfall that well, plus he could possibly flinch me. So I figured, hey, Arcanine, you're gonna have to be the sacrificial lamb over here just because he does have the Intimidate over here, but this Gyarados is gonna be at +1 Dragon Dance in terms of attack and +2 in speed. So it's gonna easily outspeed everything on my team, including my agility Altaria. I'm pretty sure that outspeed. Yeah, it does. It does outspeed the agility Altaria. And this extreme speed's not gonna do a lot of damage, but I wanted to make sure that this thing was at range where reversal was a guaranteed KO. And this thing was gonna take me down either way with Waterfall. So I figured, hey, let's just go for some damage. Can't go for the Will-O-Wisp. So this means I can send out my Dugtrio for free, and hopefully he clicks the Waterfall as you go see over here. And right away I click Reversal. I'm like, alright, Reversal has to take this thing down or else I lose. And it was a bit of a risky prediction for me just because if he set up another Dragon Dance and done that, I would have been in an awkward situation. But luckily for me, it pays off. Dugtrio gets a huge KO, does what any Trapper would do and gets rid of the threat, which allows me to really send out my Jirachi just because Jirachi has so much coverage on everything. If he sends out Empoleon, I'm happy with it. But I'm simply just going to click Shadow Ball over here. I knew I outspeed because he has leftovers and I'm scarfed. So Shadow Ball ends up taking out the Latias. And I'm like, alright, this is looking pretty good. I'm just going to go for the Shadow Ball at this moment just because it's a safe play to do, and I might get the special defense drop, which would be awesome. But this thing is agility, and I'm like, what? Wait, no, this is gonna be interesting. So at this point, I'm committed. I'm going for Shadow Ball. I'm still outspeeding the agility Empoleon, which means I could possibly just go into Altaria, Mega Evolve, click agility, and then just go for Earthquake. But then I would be in the same awkward position because he still has the Wheezing. So I'm just going for Shadow Ball over here. This thing has Life Orb, which means it only has a limited amount of hits in it. And as long as I keep hitting this thing, it's gonna have less and less turns. So at this moment, I'm like, alright, Porygon 2 has been my go-to guy over here. And I'm gonna go back into Donk Dodgers. Donk Dodgers has been doing so much damage. I can click Recover and sort of stall this thing out. And even though I'm poisoned, I can still stall out this Empoleon because I think this Empoleon only has like 2 more turns of the Flash Cannon. And I recover so much more HP than what it's doing right now. So this Porygon 2, this mixed wall is doing a lot of work. It's been a big pain on his butt just because I can recover and I won't be taking a lot of damage. So keeping my Eviolite on this thing is really good for it. As you know, Porygon 2s are really bulky mon, so he ends up fainting thanks to his Life Orb, and I'm going to recover a decent amount of HP to a point where I can take a Sludge Bomb or possibly a Pain Split or something else. I just gotta click Psychic and pretty much that is the GG. If Porygon 2 does go down, then I also have Thundurus with Psychic, so either way it won't really make much of a difference. We're gonna see if I can live a Sludge Bomb over here, and thankfully I take it really well. Porygon 2 is just way too bulky, and that's not bad, So Porygon 2 is going to be picking up 3 KOs plus sort of stalling out the life orb on Napoleon. I count it as a KO. That's Porygon 2 just putting in the finest of all work. And we'll pick up our very first victory in Season 3 of the RBL against the Minnesota Eon Twins. We get a bit of revenge, but hey, this was a really good battle. It really came down to the wire. And at some point I was like, oh man, I think he has it with the Mega Gyarados, but luckily for me, Dugtrio really came through. So thanks for the battle. If you guys haven't checked out Joey's channel, I'll leave it in the description down below. He has a Minnesota Eon Twins channel, and check it out. It's got some really cool content, and Joey's a really awesome battler, so I would recommend checking it out. If you guys want to check out anything else from Reddit, or the Reddit or the RBL, the Reddit Battle League, check it out in the description down below. All the links are there to the WordPress, to the subreddit, to the Twitter, to the YouTube. They're all right there, so be sure to check that out. And if you guys want to leave anything in the comment section down below, that would be awesome. That means so much. Your guys' support is really awesome. So thanks for watching. This is Cap, signing off.